what you love, not what is out there. Don't follow the norm. Don't do things because they're big on the radio right now. Create and do whatever that is. I think that anything is possible. You know, I've always wanted to do a classical house record. I've never gotten to do it, but it's something that I feel that it could be something really special. So, I mean, so my advice is just do it because you love it. Everything else will come.
Muévelo, muévelo, qué sabrosa. Muévelo, muévelo, ¿cómo lo haces? Venga a bailar.
Erick Morillo, the name synonymous with vibrant house beats and electrifying performances, left an indelible mark on the global music scene. Born in New York City but raised between Columbia and New Jersey, Morillo's life was a fusion of cultural influences that resonated in his unique sound. His journey, from budding DJ to international superstar, was one of ambition, talent, and ultimately, tragedy. This essay delves into the highs and lows of Morillo's life, celebrating his undeniable contributions to music while confronting the dark shadows that ultimately consumed him. Morillo's story is one of captivating contrasts. He achieved phenomenal commercial success yet remained deeply connected to the underground house music scene. He was adored by millions but grappled with personal demons that ultimately led to his downfall. Exploring these complexities allows for a deeper understanding of the man behind the music, flaws and all. This is the story of a life lived on the edge of sonic brilliance and personal turmoil. It is a testament to the enduring power of music, but also a cautionary tale about the fragility of fame and the devastating consequences of unaddressed personal struggles. Ultimately, Erick Morillo's life raises uncomfortable questions about how we reconcile artistic brilliance with flawed humanity. Erick Morillo was born in New York City in 1971. But his early years were shaped by the vibrant culture of Colombia. Spending his formative years in Cartagena, he was immersed in the infectious rhythms of salsa and merengue, genres that would later weave their way into his own musical tapestry. This early exposure to Latin rhythms laid the foundation for his distinctive sound, infusing his house music with an irresistible energy and warmth. At the age of 11, Morillo returned to the United States, settling in Union City, New Jersey. This transition exposed him to the burgeoning sounds of hip-hop and early house music, genres that were rapidly gaining popularity in the New York metropolitan area. The fusion of his Colombian upbringing and his American adolescence created a unique musical perspective that would define his future career. This blend of influences fueled Morillo's passion for music. He began DJing at the age of 11, honing his skills at local parties and clubs. His natural talent and infectious energy quickly made him a sought-after DJ in the New Jersey area, setting the stage for his meteoric rise to fame. As Morillo's DJing career gained momentum, he sought to translate his passion for music into his own productions. He enrolled at the Center for Media Arts in New York City, immersing himself in the technical aspects of sound engineering and music production. This formal training provided him with the tools to transform his musical vision into reality. One of Morillo's early breakthroughs came in 1991 with the release of Movelo, a collaboration with Panamanian reggae artist El General. This track, a high-energy fusion of house and Latin freestyle, became a club anthem, showcasing Morillo's ability to seamlessly blend genres and create infectious dance floor fillers. The success of Movelo brought Morillo to the attention of the burgeoning house music scene. He quickly became a sought-after remixer, lending his signature sound to tracks by artists such as Juliet Roberts and the Todd Terry Project. His remixes were characterized by driving bass lines, soulful vocals, and an undeniable groove, quickly establishing him as a rising star in the world of dance music. Erick Morillo's influence on house music is, well, nothing short of legendary. He didn't just follow trends, he set them. From his early days, Erick was always pushing boundaries, blending genres and creating sounds that were entirely his own. His relentless innovation and passion for music led to a career that spanned over 3 decades, during which he became a household name in the world of electronic dance music. Erick's legacy is more than just his chart-topping hits. It's the way he inspired countless artists and fans around the globe. His music continues to resonate, reminding us all of the transformative power of creativity and dedication. Erick Morillo's name became synonymous with the vibrant nightlife of Ibiza. His residency at Pacha was legendary, drawing crowds from all over the world. For many, his sets were the highlight of their summer. Morillo's influence on the island's music scene was undeniable, cementing his status as a global DJ superstar. Despite his success, Erick Morillo faced numerous challenges. Publicly, he struggled with substance abuse, which began to take a toll on his career and personal life. In addition, troubling allegations surfaced, casting a shadow over his legacy. These issues brought Morillo into the spotlight for reasons beyond his music, creating a complex and often controversial narrative. The combination of personal struggles and public allegations led to a dramatic fall from grace for Erick Morillo. Once celebrated as a music icon, he found himself battling legal issues and facing intense media scrutiny. The pressures of fame and personal demons ultimately culminated in a tragic end, leaving the music world in shock. In the wake of his passing, the music community came together to remember Erick Morillo. Tributes poured in from fans and fellow artists, highlighting his contributions to the world of electronic music. While his life was marked by highs and lows, Erick Morillo's influence on the dance music scene remains undeniable. His legacy lives on through the countless tracks and unforgettable nights he provided to music lovers around the globe.
I started collecting music when I was 6 years old. It was just something I always was into. My mom would send me cassette tapes to Colombia, and it was just something that I had a passion for. At the age of 10, I had an upstairs neighbor in New Jersey who was in college and was more of a weekend DJ. He would always set up 2 turntables and a mixer, and I happened to go upstairs one afternoon on a Saturday. I remember that day like it was yesterday. And I just fell in love with the art of being able to mix from one track to the other. And for the next year, it was me begging my mother to please buy me 2 turntables and a mixer. Please buy me 2 turntables and a mixer. I think finally, just to shut me up, when I graduated from grammar school, she got me 2 Scott turntables and a Gemini mixer. By no means are these the best turntables or mixers. You know, the Scott turntables are the ones that if you push the plate back too fast, the needle had to reset itself. So, you know, I think actually learning on equipment like that gave me an upper hand, because then when I got to the real equipment, to like the Technique 1200s, it was just so much easier to use. But it was just something that I really loved. I had a passion for it from the time I was 11, and then I just became known in Union City, New Jersey, and you know, through all my friends as like the DJ. So I would do all the class events, car washes, weddings. Anything anybody would pay me any money for, you know, $200 for. And the funny thing is, I didn't have great equipment, so I would take those $200 that they would pay me, and I would pay my friend $50 to lend me his turntables and mixer, and you know, my other friend $50 to like lend me his speakers, and then I would pay somebody $50 for like to be able to take the a van and take everything there. So by the time it was over, I didn't make any money, but I didn't care because I really, really loved to play music. back in the early days, I mean, stuff like, the early, Donna Summer stuff, Diana Ross, even the Village People, believe it or not, it was things that I really loved. But I think that as far as the DJing part of it, it was just a challenge for me at that time of the blending and going back and forth. And back then I was doing scratching, I was doing, I just had a real love for the art of being able to mix music together. And I think that, somewhere in the back of my mind, it was like being the man at the party, if you will, being the guy. And I think, that definitely was something, but I definitely think that for me, it was the challenge of being able to mix. And, at one point, we set up 4 turntables and a mixer, and we used to have competitions after school to see who can hold 4 records on beat the longest. And, it was just, that was the thing. It was just the love of mixing records together. It was just something that I always had. I don't know that it was a track as much as it was the challenge of being able to do that. And it just became my passion. I didn't even play sports. I would come home from school and this is what I would do until my mom got home from work. And then she's like, turn it down. And, I would be driving my mother nuts. And, it was just something I always loved. Music was just something I always loved. As I was growing up, like I said, I did a lot of school gigs. By that I mean it's basically a school dance. So you would go into your high school and they would give you $200 again, and you would have to bring in the sound system. I mean everything. So I was a mobile DJ at first. I would have to bring all the speakers, amplifiers. It wasn't just showing up like I do now and play my music. You actually have to set everything up and make it sound good. So for me, that was a good thing to learn because I know how to set up equipment backwards and forwards. I can go into a club if there's a problem. I know what I need to do. But also the car wash is something that we used to do. And basically what it would be you would set up your DJ gear in the street, and it would be like a fundraiser car wash that you would do. And we would do this about 2 times a year, where you have you set up the equipment outside, and people come and girls would wash your cars, and in little skimpy outfits, and I'd be rocking it out with my music. It was definitely a fun thing. I think that back then I played from go-go bars to, there were no gigs I wouldn't do, even weddings. And having to play the funky chicken at a wedding wasn't the most fulfilling gig, but I didn't care because I just loved to be in front of a crowd and playing music.
In the beginning there was Jack, and Jack had a groove,
Back then, there weren't many radio shows in America. There was no DJ culture. As far as listening to new music, new dance music, there was like a couple of mix shows that maybe on a Friday night or a Saturday night for a couple hours, I would hear music through there. Going to the record store was a big, that was a big Saturday or Sunday event where you spend the whole day in the record store going through records and seeing what was going on. And back then, it wasn't house music. It was a little bit of hip hop, a little bit of, even reggae. Disco was a big thing. High energy disco was a big thing that, that Italian disco that we were really into. And house became something that little by little I gravitated to, and I think the one track that, really made me say, I want to play house music was, Todd Terry, everything that Todd Terry was doing back in the day, A Day in the Life. Party People, all those tracks really was like, what is going on? What is this sound? Marshall Jefferson, Move Your Body. Records like that were like, what is this? It's like, it was dance, but but it wasn't disco. And that's how I discovered house. And I think the Jungle Brothers' Girl, I'll House You was kind of the one that blew it open for me and said, you know what? I don't want to play hip hop anymore. I want to play house music. I want to do this. This is what I want to do. At the age of 18, my mom said, okay, this DJing thing is all well and dandy, but either you're going to college or you're going to get a trade and do something, whether it's an electrician, a plumber, because I told her I didn't want to go to school. College was not something I was looking forward to. So, for me, it was something that I needed to pursue, and I told her I wanted to become a music engineer. And I started making music, but again, in America, dance music was not big. It was not, it was not anything. So I started making music. I did a couple of records for Strictly Rhythm, and I happened to do I Like to Move It, which then became a huge phenomenon. What is going on? That's when I got to see the explosion of the revolution, and to go and get to Heathrow and get on the car, and they have a dance station playing dance music all day long. I'm like, what? I got to my hotel, MTV's playing dance videos all day. I'm like, I have just walked into heaven, because in America there wasn't even a radio station playing dance music. I went to see David Morales at Ministry of Sound, and there was 2,000 people looking at the DJ. I never saw that before. In America, there was no people looking at DJ. People go to the dance club, and the DJ was like the bartender. The DJ was like a worker. It wasn't like people didn't go there to see a DJ. They went to dance. Here I am at Ministry of Sound, looking at these people in awe of David Morales, and every record he played, everybody's like, way! I'm like, I have just gone to Wonderland. Like, to me, that was like, okay, like, what is this? Is like so backwards. America was all hip hop. Here I go to a country, it's all dance music. So for me, it was like, I think I can make this, I could turn this into a business. I think I can become, I've already been DJing since I was 11, so DJing is no problem. And people actually appreciate the music that I'm making.
I'm gonna bring it up to date if you guys are ready. So London, if you're ready, make some noise.
So that's when, you know, and that was back in 1992 was the first time I went to the UK. And that's, after that, I remember calling my mom. I was so excited. I called all my friends. I'm like, you guys do not believe what is going on right now in the UK. Like I may not ever come home. You know, and then at first I was like, I think I'm gonna buy a house in London. I think, because it was like, wow, like they appreciate it. And to me it was funny to hear the British people saying, mate, we don't have anything over here. Complaining about, they don't have clubs and and it's like, what, are you kidding me? You guys, I just come from like the US where we have nothing. It's like nothing, and it was just amazing to me, like such a big difference. So after that, it was like, okay, now I'm gonna dedicate myself to DJing again. But at that level, like seeing what was going on in Ministry of Sound was one of the things that I want to be a resident here, and then I just started making records and going back, kept going back to England, and it was like, I'm gonna dominate this industry. It's like, this is what I want to do, and that's when I dedicated my life completely to house music and to becoming a DJ and becoming a mogul in the dance music industry, because I just felt like there is a market for this, so it was an amazing time for me. I get goosebumps just thinking about it, but it was a wake-up call for me. I was making records for Strictly Rhythm, like I said.
What I'm used to, and I work hard enough to kind of do it. So it cost me a little bit of money, but when you're trying to do 2 gigs in one day, it's the only way to travel. So you guys ready to come to Poland? Amsterdam is done, burned. Now we are going down, baby. Let's do it.
My family doesn't have a lot of money, so like I said, I was either going to become an electrician or a plumber, or that wasn't in the cards for me. And when I saw what was available to me if I continued to do records and have success in dance music, I saw what David Morales was doing. I'm like, I can do this. It was just more about, now I want to do this. So I became very active in wanting to be a DJ and be booked and do gigs. And I remember, because of Real to Real, people did want to book me, but it wasn't necessarily the kind of clubs I wanted to play. Because obviously Real to Real went on to become one of the biggest top 10 records in the UK, dance top 10 records in the UK. So a lot of the clubs that wanted to book me were a little bit more commercial, a little bit more mainstream, your Hollywoods and Romfords and your Café de Paris. I remember they had a party going on that was really, and they weren't necessarily the gigs I wanted to do, because, because of Real to Real and the success that I had, I think a lot of people thought that that's what I was doing. But what I dedicated myself then after that, besides continuing to do Real to Real and do an album for Real to Real, I continued doing underground records, and I had records with Smooth Touch and RAW and a bunch of other names. And the gigs I was trying to do were gigs like Ministry of Sound. It took me a long time to get into a place like Ministry of Sound, but that's what I wanted. I wanted to play those underground clubs, still be a little bit be able to play big records, and which I think has been the key to my success. Is being able to play underground parties, but know when to play records that people know. when I started DJing, the thought of even being a DJ the rest of my life was not in the cards. Again, it was just a hobby while I was in school. And then when I discovered England, yes, I wanted to become a DJ, but I never thought it would get to rock star status, which is where it is right now. I mean, you know, I lead a very privileged life, and coming from a very poor background, I am telling you that I could never have imagined between my wildest dreams that I would own homes in Ibiza, in Miami, in New York, now looking at LA, Brazil, you know, have a private plane in the summer waiting for me to travel around and do my gigs. The women, the models, I mean, it's unbelievable. And it's like, I thank my lucky stars every day. And I rarely get upset about anything. You know, the only things that upset me sometimes is like when I really want something to happen, and like, you know, usually it's work related and I can't make it happen. That brings upset, but it doesn't last very long because, again, I lead a very, very privileged life. I'm able to take care of my mother and my family. I'm able to do so many things for so many people that if I was to die tomorrow, I'd tell you I have lived past my wildest dreams. The gigs that I do because I love it. I work as hard as I do because I love to get on a plane and be in front of a crowd. I am addicted to the feeling of being in front of a crowd. And when you connect with a crowd, I tell you, there is no better feeling in the world.
You're like don't